act as a catalyst to remind caregivers and adult children to remember to ask, do you have a dream? It really opens up the conversation to long-held, heartfelt opportunities for you, for all of us, to connect other people with other people who might be able to help facilitate a dream. We don't make promises that we can do them all, but we know that there's a place in this world for Ageless Dreamer. We're going to do all we can to keep the dream alive. Correction about this. Now, questions and answers.
The ultimate question. How do we fund our program? Well, you know, when you're a new 501c3 nonprofit starting, nobody wants to talk to you. Prove that anybody else cares. So my husband and I, my husband's a developer, and so we have, in essence, funded the startup of it with the help of some very generous donors, and anybody of any age can join the membership and show your support for Ageless Dreamer for $20 a month. Or for $30, you also get a free t-shirt. But, you know, I hope to present to a donor, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, and see if they will help us out. The board of directors will not let my husband and I do any more donating. They said it needs to start to be self-sufficient, needs to have more people step up to the plate. It's a very difficult thing. We're moving out of McConnell Community Center in the next 2 weeks, moving into a very tiny pro bono office space. We're cutting to the chase. We are cutting to the chase. So I was telling Ruth and Jerry and Natalia on the way over, I said, I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a whole group of people over the age of 70, and we're going to stand on the sidewalks of Dover with big signs. You know like they do at those political rallies and get people to, I think we're going to do that. We're going to try to cause a little ruckus. You know. So thank you for that question.
Is this on the same idea? Is this on the same idea as Make-A-Wish? I know that's more for children who are terminal.
And Make-A-Wish has extended it because they've finally found the cure for so many cancers, so children aren't always terminal anymore. But when people would ask me that, I'd say, oh, it's about being terminally alive. And that's what we've got, terminally alive, and how great we can make it. Some people don't dream, so you can't change something. You can open up the conversation, like with Jerry. All of a sudden, Jerry's like, he's going to be like, the two of them are the poster childs. Another question.
Really, question is a state. It's what I'm picking up is a state of mind. It's not necessarily this big dream that's been in your mind for a long time. I would like to publish a book, or I'd like to do this. Since we have a couple more minutes, can you just address that? If I was a senior companion and visiting 5 or 6 people, and sometimes you can get into a rut. Can you talk a little bit about opening up that state of mind and wishes? And so that the companions, it could perhaps be a smaller thing. Right. Companions could do with the folks they visit.
Which is what some of these stories are about. Yep. But I started to notice a trend. And the trend seems to be that, remember I talked about the wheelchairs, walkers, hearing aids, lifeline, medical prescription, doctor's appointments, what you have for breakfast, you know, the constipated dream thing. It is really engaging them in a different way. It really is saying, so, did I tell you what I was dreaming about lately? And then, you know, it can turn into, so what you know, like, what do you like to do? What did you used to do? One of the stories is about a fellow who, that's exactly what I did. We were at my mom and dad's, and he's 90-something, living alone, and I couldn't get him to open up. He was sitting right next to me in the swing. And I said, so, what you used to do? Like, what you used to do? You know, what you loved to do way back when? And he said, bowl. I said, bowl? I said, yeah, I got bowling trophies in the basement, I got bowling shoes, I got big bowling balls, sorry. And I looked at him, and I said, would you like to go bowling? And he stopped, and he said, sure. What an easy thing that was. The next day, timing's everything sometimes, you know, because we happened to be visiting my parents. And we went to a little ball bowling thing, because that's what was close by, and he didn't want to swing those big ones anymore anyways. And we bowled for a couple of hours. First time he'd done that in 20 years, since his wife died. So, you don't know, the salt cod fish cakes was another one. You know? And that came from a caregiver. When she learned about Ageless Dreamer, she started to talk to him, and eventually got so like, what do you dream about? What do you hope about? I would love to have salt cod fish cakes like my mother used to make 60 years ago. It was his dream. That was his dream. They don't have to be big, you know. Long-held, heartfelt, though, not whims. Not a whim. You had a question.
I'm just smiling that you told that story, because that happened to me 2 weeks ago. I didn't know it was an Ageless Dreamer, though. One of my visitees is a gentleman, he's 86 years old. And so one day I said to him, is there anything you'd like to do? He said, you know, I'd like to go bowling. So we went bowling last two weeks ago, Tuesday. I won't tell you the score, but we had a good time. So we just did one string, and he said, do you think maybe when the weather gets cooler we could go again? So I didn't know, it was a dream.
Exactly. Ageless Dreamer, an attitude worth having. Thank you so much for inviting us to be here. We're thrilled. We videoed this. We might try to get it up on YouTube. So, but thank you again.